Divine Nutrition Products believes in supplying the consumer with the highest quality products available. Their natural isolate line of protein is comprised of whey protein isolate made from grass-fed protein, featuring brand new flavors like vanilla peanut butter and pound cake. Divine Nutrition Products is the preferred supplement of rising IFBB Pro Figure champion Sydney Gillen, winner of the 2016 Miami Beach Muscle Pro.
Hey, this is Sydney Gillen, IFBB Figure Pro champion. I love Divine Nutrition products, especially the pound cake as soon as I get that one, but my favorite right now is vanilla peanut butter. It's so delicious.
Visit us at divinenutritionproducts.com. All right, welcome everybody to another edition of the Florida Physique Report. I am your host, John Hansen, and we are broadcasting live from the Powerhouse Gym in downtown Tampa, Florida. On today's show, we are going to have the results of last weekend's very big Miami Beach Muscle Pro, which was held by Giovanni Paula and his wife, and that was held out, of course, in Miami Beach, Florida, and that was on April 2nd. And they had a big NPC division, but they also had 5 pro divisions, 5 IFBB pro divisions. They had figure, bikini, men's physique, the new classic physique, which was really interesting, and the 212 bodybuilding. So it was a really big contest. I had a really good time being out there. It was the first time I saw it. I know he did his first show last year, and I was very impressed. It was a very good show. So we're going to go over those results of that in a minute. Before we do that, we want to talk about what's going on in the month of April. This is a really big month for NPC Florida. We started, of course, in January with Richie Alvarez's show, the Outdoor Classic, and then Karina Nascimento had her Karina Nascimento Classic in February, and then in March we had a couple shows, but this month it really takes off. I think there's about 10 shows, including last weekend's show, so I'm going to go over the schedule for that in a second, and then we're going to go over the results of the NPC IFBB Miami Beach Muscle Pro show. I also want to welcome Divine Nutrition, which is a new sponsor to the FloridaPhysique.com website. We appreciate their sponsorship. Of course, we rely on all our sponsors to keep this website going, and I really appreciate Lou D'Onofrio and Divine Nutrition for sponsoring FloridaPhysique.com. All right, let's go over what's going on in the month of April in the NPC Florida bodybuilding scene. Like I said, it was going to be busy. This weekend shows it. We got 3 shows going on in one weekend. First of all, we got the Gold Coast and Mari Redondo Classic, which is a national qualifier. That'll be held out in Miami, Florida. It's at the James L. Knight Center, and Mari Redondo and Sergio Pacheco are the promoters. So go to SergioandMariProductions.com. That's their website, and that will be this weekend on April 9th. Also going on this weekend, another really big show, the Renegade Classic. My friend Tim Gardner is holding that contest, and that's going to be out in Panama City Beach, Florida. That'll be held at the Helen Blackburn Auditorium. That also is a national qualifier, and Tim and Mike McKinney will be holding that contest. If you want more information, go to Tim's website, which is timgardnerproductions.com. That's going to be a really big show. I know a lot of people are going in that. And then I will be at the Jack's Physique, which is open only to the Central District athletes only, and that'll be at the UNF Performing Arts Center in Jacksonville, Florida. And go to jacksphysique.com for more information on that. I believe Dexter Jackson is going to be guest posing, and also Dallas McCarver, a very promising new pro. He did really good at the Olympia last year. He looked great. I think this kid's got a great future, really young kid, so I'm looking forward to seeing him. I never saw him in person before. He's going to be guest posing. Gail L. is the promoter, of course, so contact Gail at through the web at jacksphysique.com. I actually will be the official photographer for the Jax Physique, and I will be covering the show, of course, for FloridaPhysique.com. So a lot going on this weekend. Next weekend, there's another really big competition on April 16th, the Southeast Classic, which is a national qualifier also. It's going to be at South Broward High School in Hollywood, Florida. Maggie Cambronero is the promoter, and Maggie was just competing last weekend in the Miami Muscle Pro. So she's going to be the promoter. She's got a really, really big show lined up. There's going to be a lot of guests, and the guest poser is going to be this year's Arnold Classic champion, the very popular Kai Green. So you want to check that out. That's going to be a really big show. There's also going to be another show out in the Panhandle, the Panhandle Showdown in Northwest Florida, also on April 16th. That is a national qualifier. It's going to be at Pensacola High School in Pensacola, Florida, and Russ Messi is the promoter. And go to panhandleshowdown.com for more information on that. And also on the 16th, the Galaxy, which is open nationwide, and that's going to be at Pedro Menendez High School. Gene Schlossberg and Pete Fancher are the promoters. Pete, of course, is the Central District Chairman. So go to galaxychampionships.com for more information on that. So this weekend and next weekend, 3 competitions each weekend. That's how big things are in the NPC Florida area. All right, moving over to the 23rd, April 23rd. The Diamond Classic is another national qualifier taking place in Boca Raton, Florida. Andreas Miller is the promoter. Go to diamondbodybuildingclassic.com for more information on that. Also on the 23rd, the Monster Classic, which is open nationwide. That's going to be held in Lake City, Florida at the Levy Performing Arts Center. And Tony Curtis is the promoter there. Of course, he's got the Monster clothing line, and he's calling it the Monster Classic, M-O-N-S-T-A, not Monster, Monster Classic. And he's going to have some really cool, like WWE Championship belts for the overall. We saw that at the sanction meeting, which was in last December, and Tony was showing those belts off. So that's really cool for the overall winners. That will be, of course, on April 23rd. And then we finished the month off with the IFBB NPC Europa Show of Champions in Orlando, Florida. This is a national qualifier. They had a huge show last year, over 200 competitors, and I know it's going to be another really big show. Ed and Betty Pariso are the promoters. Go to EuropaGamesExpo.com for more information. That's going to be a huge competition. I know a lot of people right here in Tampa are going in that show. I've been hearing a lot of people getting ready for the Europa. So it's going to be a really big show. So that's what we got coming up in April. It's going to be a really, really busy month. All right. Now let's go over the results of last week's competition, which was the NPC and IFBB Miami Beach Muscle Pro contest held out in Miami Beach, Florida. Giovanni Paula was the promoter. As I said, they had 5 professional divisions, so let's go over those first. They started off with the figure division, professional figure. Cindy Gillen, who is a very promising young figure competitor. She just took 3rd place at the Arnold Australia and was in the top 5 at the Arnold Classic in Columbus, Ohio. I believe she's only like 23, 24 years old. This girl is an amazing physique, super small waist, great glutes and thighs, and she's really coming up fast. She's going to be a really top competitor. She is a top competitor already. This was her 3rd pro win. She is sponsored by Divine Nutrition, so that worked out good. We got a great interview with Cindy after her win, and so congratulations to Cindy Gillen on her 3rd pro win. Cassandra Carpenter, who was from the Florida area, really tall, very ripped competitor. She was in 2nd place. Sandra Gajales from Mexico was in 3rd place. She looked awesome. Natalia Coelho, 19 years old, competing in her very first pro show. She just got her pro card last year at the Nationals. Takes 4th place in her first pro show. What a future this girl's got. 19 years old, places 4th in her first pro show. She, of course, is from the Florida area, so congratulations to Natalia. Really, she's got a lot of heart and a lot of desire for the sport, and she's going to do really, really well. What a great future she's going to have. And then Maggie Cambronero, who I just mentioned, who will be promoting her show on the 16th. She took 5th place, so she did fantastic also. So Florida really, really did well. 3 places out of 5 in the top 5 at the professional figure division. All right, moving on to the bikini. Another Florida girl, Catherine Radulik, who I believe is in her mid-40s. She looks amazing. She looks fantastic. She took first place and in a very tough lineup. Marcia Goncalves from Brazil, who lives also in the Florida area, in the Miami area, competing in her second pro show. She was in the Orlando Pro Bikini that Shannon Day put on in Orlando. She took fourth place there, moved up to second place here. So Marcia is looking amazing. She was amazing competing in the NPC, and she looks even amazing now as a pro. So she's going to do really well. I predict a pro victory for Marcia before the year is out. Adriana Hill, who is also from Florida, took third place. Adriana looked great. Michelle Sylvia, who I thought looked amazing. I thought Michelle was going to place even a little bit higher. I had her in first or second. She took fourth place. She's also from Florida. And then finally another Floridian finishing out the top five, Christina Ortiz, who I think is a beautiful bikini competitor. And I don't know if this is the first time she made top five, but she did awesome, and she was very happy with her placing. A lot of competitors in this division, so congratulations to all those girls for making the top five. All right, moving on to the men's physique. Matthew Acton, who was a top placer a couple years ago, and he didn't do that well last year, but he's coming back. He got a first place victory here. Brett Kahn was in second place. Raymond Akinlatsu was in third place. Laquan Jones was in fourth place, and Ryan Hinton was in fifth. And then moving on to the Classic Physique. This is really interesting. The Classic Physique division, of course, just started off this year in 2016. They've had it at the amateur level in a couple shows, but this was the first professional Classic Physique I've seen. And Darren Charles looked absolutely amazing. I thought Darren looked a little skinny from the pictures I saw when he competed in California a couple weeks ago, the one that Danny Hester won. That was the very first professional Classic Physique, and Darren got second there, but he was not skinny. I think he weighed in at 190 pounds, so he's got to be at least 20 pounds, maybe 25 pounds lighter than when he competed as a professional bodybuilder. But I thought Darren looked amazing. I believe he's about 47 or 48 years old now, and he was shredded, like way more shredded than he was as a bodybuilder. He did not look small. He may look small in some of the pictures, but he is not small in person, and his posing routine was one of the highlights of the night, man. It was an amazing posing routine. It had the whole audience energized after he left the stage. He was a great, great competitor and a great win for Darren Charles. I think he's going to place really high at the Classic Physique Olympia this year in September. I can't see many people beating him. I think he looks amazing. Sean Harley, who I believe used to compete either as a men's physique or a bodybuilder, I'm not really sure, but he looked great. Real good-looking kid, real muscular, real ripped. He took second place. Devon Lindner was in third place. Jason Armato, who also looked really good, he had a good structure. He was in fourth place. And Murat Demir was in fifth place. Poor Murat had a pose right after Darren Charles' amazing routine, but he still did good. He placed in the top five. And then finally it finished off, the pro division finished off with the men's bodybuilding 212 division. Guy Cisternino, who just competed at the Arnold Classic and placed in the top five there. He was probably the highest placing competitor going into the show, and he won the contest. Very thick physique on Guy. Wendell Floyd was in second place. Wendell is a former Team Universe winner from a few years ago. That's how he got his pro card. Kong Wan Kang, who's a South Korean, looked really good. I thought it was very impressive. He was in third place. Allison Maria was in fourth place, and Kevin Ofurum was in fifth place. Top five were really in great shape. I got to mention my friend Santiago Aragon, who was making his pro debut after just winning his class at the Nationals a couple years ago. Santiago looked, I thought, great. Only took 10th place, just doesn't have the amazing size and thickness that these top placers have, but Santiago's got a great physique and another unbelievable posing routine. He posed to Phil Collins in the air tonight, and it was just fantastic. It reminded me of the best of Lee Labrada and Bob Paris. Santiago is one of the only few pros really bringing that classic type of posing back to the bodybuilding stage. And he had a great vacuum. He was pulling that vacuum in the mandatories and even standing relaxed. So I thought he looked fantastic. Judges, I guess, wanted a little bit more size out of him. He only took 10th place. And Derek Leverant, who's also from the Florida area, the Tank, great thigh development. He also did really well. He took 9th place. So I think they were both a little disappointed. Santiago was talking about maybe moving over to the Classic Physique division. I think he'd have to bring his weight down to 170, but he might be better off suited for that division because I would hate to see him ruin his physique by gaining too much size. He's got such an excellent physique, and he's got that really classic look, and I love his posing routine, so congratulations to him. All right, and then the night finished off with the NPC Miami Beach Muscle. They had some pretty good competition in the NPC portion of the contest, especially, of course, in the men's physique and the bikini. So it started off with the women's physique. They only had one competitor, Annabelle Ruiz, and she won the women's physique contest. And then it goes over to the bodybuilding and the novice men's bodybuilding. Theo T. Nice Markopoulos was the winner, and he was really in great shape. I've seen Theo compete a few weeks ago. I think it was at the CJ Classic, and he looked good there, but he was much sharper here, and he beat a lot of the guys that beat him in that contest. So congratulations to Theo. He won the novice men's bodybuilding. And the masters men's bodybuilding, the lightweight went to Jimmy Norius, who had a really good physique, thick but very ripped, real good conditioning. The middleweight went to Jorge Gatorno, and the light heavy again went to Theo T. Nice Markopoulos, but the overall this time went to Jimmy Norius. Really great physique on Jimmy, so congratulations to him. He won the masters bodybuilding overall. And then going into the open bodybuilding, they had no lightweight, but the middleweight again went to Jimmy Norius. Light heavy went to Fidel Perdomo. And Fidel, of course, won the CJ Classic a couple of weeks ago, and he was even more dialed in here, a couple pounds lighter. Great conditioning on Fidel. He was trained by AJ Sims, and they really brought him in perfect condition. His thighs were shredded, his glutes were shredded, really great shape. He's only like a pound or two over the middleweight division, so he was just barely a light heavyweight, but he still beat a really tough field because his conditioning was just amazing. And then Arturo Mendez, a very popular competitor in the South Florida area, he won the heavyweight class. Arturo, another good poser, I have to mention that. Arturo always brings that classic bodybuilding posing to the stage. But Fidel Perdomo won the overall. He could not be beat with that incredible conditioning that he had. So congratulations to Fidel Perdomo. This was a show he was aiming for. The CJ Classic was just a warm-up for him. And now he's going to take off the rest of the year and just get ready for the Nationals, where he will compete as a middleweight. And he should be really in outstanding condition for that. I think he's going to be really a favorite to get his pro card. So we wish him the best of luck. All right, moving over to the Classic Physique division. They only had one class, which was Class B, and Lordson Jonasaint was the winner. This was the first time Lordson has done the Classic Physique division. I've seen him compete in bodybuilding. He won Tim Gardner's Hurricane Bay a couple of years ago. And lately, at all the shows I've seen him in, he's done usually both men's physique and bodybuilding. Not quite big enough for the top-level bodybuilding, and he's got those legs. He's actually a little bit too big for men's physique, so this might be perfect division for him. He made the weight. He's like 6'2", came in about 200 pounds, and congratulations to Lordson Jonasaint on his win at the Classic Physique. We'll see what he does in this division as the year progresses. Moving on to the figure division, not too many competitors in the figure contest this time. Figure novice was taken by Tracy Leffel. And then in the Masters figure, the over 40 went to popular competitor Viviana Smorelli. She competes quite often in the South Florida area. And then the figure open, only two competitors. Claudia Olvera, who had a really good look. She won Class A. And Tracy Leffel, who was our novice winner, she won Class C. And then the overall went to Claudia Olvero. I was hoping to get an interview with Claudia, but she left after the show. So unfortunately, we weren't able to get an interview with her for Florida Physique. And then moving on to the men's physique division, the teen men's physique, really good competitor, Corey Kubica. No competition for Corey, but he's got a really good look, so he's got a good future. Men's physique novice, Magna Santana Bispo was the winner in Class A, and he beat out quite a few competitors. He had a good physique. And Michael Tiani was the winner in Class B, and then the overall, Magna Santana Bispo was the men's physique novice overall winner. In the Masters men's physique, Jimmy Norius, who did really well in the bodybuilding, he won the over 40 men's physique Masters. And in the over 30, Luis Sanchez, who beat a really tough field. Vicente Santana was in second place. Vicente's got a really good look. And Luis Sanchez, competing in his very first show, did really well. He's got a really good look, good-looking guy, really nice, clean lines, in good condition. He won the over 30, and he won the overall in the Masters men's physique. And then moving on to the men's physique open, a lot of competitors in this division. Jose Martinez was the winner in Class A. Luis Sanchez, who was the Masters winner, he won Class B. And Michael Tiani, who won his class in the novice, he won Class C. And then in Class D in the Men's Physique Open, Emmanuel Nawano was the winner. And then the overall, again, went to Luis Sanchez, winning his second overall of the night. We did an interview with Luis Sanchez after the show, and I want to thank Angie Garcia, IFBB Bikini Pro, who was actually competing that night. She helped us with the translation because Luis couldn't speak very good English, so thanks to Angie for that. And we had a really good interview with Luis. He's a promising young competitor, very excited, and he's going to do really well in the future. All right, and then finally it finished off with the bikini division. Jensen Butters was the winner in the teen division. All right, moving on to the bikini novice. A lot of competitors in this, of course. Stephanie Lugo was the winner in Class A, and Samantha Hall was the winner in Class B. And then in the overall, Samantha Hall won the overall in the bikini novice. And then going into the bikini masters division, over 40 went to Danielle Herberly, and over 30 went to Victoria Buela. And Victoria has also competed quite often on the South Florida area. We did an interview with her after the show. I finally got to meet her. I'd never met her before. And I think she said this was her 6th overall victory. So congratulations to Victoria Buela. And then finally we finished off with the open division of the bikini. Class A went to Veronica Lazutsina. This was her 3rd competition just in the last couple months. So congratulations to Veronica. She won Class A. Yanisbel Morgando won Class B. Victoria Buela won Class C. And Brittany Falks from D4 Muscle, Dan Esslinger's company, she won Class D. Brittany's got a good look also. But the overall went to Veronica Lazutsina, winning her 3rd contest in a row. So she is now 3-0. She won the CJ and she won the Karina. So she's doing really, really well. She's very excited. Got a great look on stage, and she cannot go for the nationals because she is not a U.S. citizen. She's from Russia, but she is going to try to petition for her pro card, so we'll see how that goes. But Veronica's got a really good future, real young competitor, and another one who's very excited about competing, so we wish her the best of luck. All right, so that is it for the Florida Physique Report, episode number 56 this week. Thank you for joining us again for the results of the Miami Pro Muscle Classic. And again, this weekend, big weekend in the NPC Florida area. We got the Gold Close and Maria Redondo Classic, which will be held out in Miami, Florida this weekend. There's also the Renegade Classic, which is Tim Gardner and Mike McKinney's show, and that'll be in Panama City Beach this weekend. And also the Jack's Physique, where I will be there, and I will be covering that show for FloridaPhysique.com next week. So we should have all those results for you next week on the Florida Physique Report. All right, that's it for episode number 56. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next week.